What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to be going over the crypto and NFT markets, as well as some very important news that is happening in the crypto space and my thoughts on this. Before we get started, I do appreciate if you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell to be notified for regular crypto videos. Alright, everyone, so everything's still pretty flat in the crypto space. Nothing too exciting happening here. A lot of fear in the space overall, from regulation discussion, tax laws, as well as just fear in general that we are entering a bear market. And then we recently had that Bitcoin death cross, which we did talk about on the charts. So I don't expect things to move too drastically here anytime soon. It's very possible we do drop another 5 to 10% before we start moving upwards again. But I still think we are very bullish right now, and we still are looking much better than we did in the summer when we did bottom out around $29,000 Bitcoin. So we do have select few altcoins here that have recovered. Solana's up 13% on the 7-day. We do have Cosmos up. We do have Sandbox and Decentraland moving up as well. Decentraland Mana up 22% on the 7-day, and then the Sandbox has recovered over the last couple weeks at $3.65. So that's the thing, these gaming altcoins are going to stay bullish as so much focus is on the metaverse and gaming and NFTs. A lot of these type of altcoins are going to continue having the focus here, especially when the Sandbox goes live and it's public for everyone to play. I think Sandbox Sand Token is going to enter the top 10 at some point when it does gain a few million users that are active on the platform, because the Sand Token does have a lot of utility in the platform, which I really like to see. That is one I'm continuing to dollar cost average because I'm just so bullish on that for the long term. But besides that, I'm not looking at too much here. I will do a separate video on gaming altcoins again. I have done one previously. Axie Infinity not doing too great here, but we do have a lot of small cap gaming altcoins that are being created right now. You do have to be very careful with these because a lot of these are very new projects, and games can take up to years to develop, especially these good ones, especially when you're integrating NFTs, crypto, and Web3. Not many developers can handle that type of stuff yet, and there's so much demand in the space. It's very hard to get developers right now. So just be very careful with those, because those could just be a pipe dream, and you could end up investing in a game that's not going to be live for 2 to 5 years, or it's just a cash grab that never goes live at any point. So just keep in mind that smaller market cap in crypto is, the higher risk it's going to be as well. Even though there's very high potential, you should be aware of that. So I do want to quickly go over the Bitcoin chart here. We can see we did have a quick drop here to around $33,000 Bitcoin, but quickly recovered, holding support here around $37,000. So we did bottom out in the summer here around $29,000 in that accumulation phase we did have. So that didn't last too long. Everyone said we were going into a bear market. This was the peak here. Of course, we recovered and we had an even higher peak. New all-time high of Bitcoin of $69,000. Now people are saying the same again, but we haven't even dropped below this point here. And even if we do drop there, that doesn't necessarily guarantee we're entering a bear market. And we have to consider the markets right now. We have so much mass adoption on the horizon, so many new laws and everything being considered. Anything can happen at any point. We could have a temporary bear market of just a couple months, and then things go parabolic again, and we hit new all-time highs. So I recently did a video talking about Ethereum flipping Bitcoin as well, and with all the focus on the metaverse, NFTs, and altcoins that are being built on the Ethereum network, Ethereum is really the biggest blockchain with the most utility, and I definitely think that's enough to flip Bitcoin eventually, especially with Ethereum being burned with every transaction now. Over $4 billion worth of Ethereum has been burned since the beginning of August, when the Ethereum London hard fork was implemented. So I do believe we're going to continue on an upwards trend throughout 2022. There's no saying where the bottom or top is going to be. No one can guarantee or predict that 100% accurately. You do have to understand that who you're listening to. Just take it with a grain of salt, do your own research, and come up with your own opinions. It's so important in a volatile space like this, and have a good entry and exit strategy, and actually execute on that when the time does come. So I do think we are close to the bottom where we currently are with Bitcoin. If it does retest the low 30 to 32,000s, I do think that will take some really bad news, and I do believe we are very close to beginning in an uptrend again. We did have that Bitcoin death cross recently that's causing more fear with regulations and tax laws, different stuff in other countries. Lots of fear in the space right now. Even though NFT space is continuing in a general uptrend, it's pretty crazy to see. I do think NFTs will bring a lot of adoption to cryptos as well, and eventually they will go hand in hand. And I am actually seeing a lot of crypto projects looking into implementing some type of NFT utility into their projects as well. I do think that will become a standard throughout 2022. All right, guys, so I do want to go over some important crypto and NFT news, some very big stuff happening right now in both these spaces. So starting off with Bitcoin, we do have Bitcoin whales buying at $38,000 as Bitcoin supply per whale hits 10-year high. This is very important in my opinion. It shows that whales are accumulating in this zone, which does show a signal that the majority of whales do believe we are close to the bottom right here. Of course, anything can really happen, but that does show major confidence that we're very close to the current bottom in this current market. So between $36,000 and $38,000, we had whales now own 330,000 Bitcoin bought at spot prices between that range. Pretty insane amount of Bitcoin. We also had MicroStrategy buy more Bitcoin again as well, of course. So like I've been saying with MicroStrategy, they continue buying no matter what the price is. They buy on major dips. They buy when the price is moving up though as well, because they have a very long-term outlook on this. They're not looking to sell their entire Bitcoin stash in the next year and try to just pick up a quick 5 to 10x. They're looking at Bitcoin getting to $1 million or more in the very long term. I don't think they're even going to start selling small portions of their Bitcoin until Bitcoin is over $1 million. And I do think that will take quite a while to play out, but it does look like they're accumulating as much as possible no matter where the price is, which does show huge confidence in the space as well. So they did purchase another 660 Bitcoin for $25 million. That is one of their smaller purchases, but in the past they have accumulated hundreds of millions at a time. So it does show confidence that he's continuing to buy and not actually selling any of the Bitcoin that they do have. So another chart here, Bitcoin price faces crucial trend battle as Bitcoin RSI confirms breakout. Bulls have something to celebrate after a classic on-chain metric prints its first major divergence in months. Definitely a good technical analysis signal here. Before you think I'm calling for new all-time highs, we're not out of the woods yet, but seeing more up short term. So this could just be a temporary recovery, but regardless, it is good to see signals like this. It does increase confidence. It does help people move more into the greed and the fear and greed index, which is necessary for the prices start moving back up in general. So we also had another thing here that Lark Davis posted. Bitcoin balance on exchanges just hit a 3-year low. Some data here from Glassnode. We can see that this is actually at a 3-year low. Pretty insane. We actually, last time we did have this low was when the markets were actually peaking back when Bitcoin hit 64,000 back in May of 2021, and then did peak again very recently when we hit 69,000, and now we're at that level again, but the price does not reflect on that yet. So I do think as this continues going down, that's a great signal. It builds confidence, and people will start getting greedy with Bitcoin again and buying up more, taking it off exchanges and storing it for the long term, especially when we have people like MicroStrategy, and we do have El Salvador continuing to buy every major dip as well. The more people we have like this that just continue buying every major dip, the more confidence it builds. So we do have a lot of regulations and tax laws being considered for crypto and NFTs right now, especially with so much hype on the space and with it growing so rapidly. So of course this is going to cause a lot of fear, but this is a necessary part of the space growing, and eventually it will give a lot of people clarity and the confidence they need to enter the space. Once there are these regulations set in place, this is necessary for mass adoption, and we just have to get through this at some point. It is going to be a bumpy ride, but for some people that does present a great opportunity at the same time if you know what you're doing. So it is very important that you get educated. You don't just follow people on YouTube or Twitter and copy what they're doing. So US lawmakers reintroduced bill to stop IRS from taxing crypto transactions under $200. Lots of news revolving around regulations and tax laws right now. So we do have $1 billion worth of Ethereum burned in the past 30 days due to record high OpenSea NFT transactions. So NFTs are in another bull market right now. We've had about 3 in the last year alone. NFT space is just blasting off quicker than I expected. I started buying Bored Apes and other NFTs expecting to hold for the very long term and for it to take as long as CryptoPunks to develop and actually appreciate in value. CryptoPunks launched in 2017 as the first profile pic NFT set, and just recently, beginning of 2021, really started blasting off. So I did expect it to at least take a few years, but it's just been crazy this year. People are getting 10x profits in a short period of time. There's just so much hype here, but people are losing tons of money at the same time because they don't know what they're buying. They're jumping in at peak hype, and then they're selling when the hype is dying out. You really have to reverse that psychology and be able to predict where demand is headed and where the hype is going to be. Being ahead of the herd is very important in any market. And the more you get educated on how to predict where demand is headed, the better off you're going to be. Of course, you're going to miss a lot of these, but when you do actually get ahead of the herd on something really good, that's where you're going to find the massive return on investments. So in my opinion, Ethereum will flip Bitcoin in market cap at some point. I do think that's inevitable with the way things are looking. I know a lot of people don't like that opinion, but it's just my personal opinion. Anything can really happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen in 2022, but the way the metaverse and NFT space is developing, I do think it will flip Bitcoin at some point. Much more bullish on Ethereum than Bitcoin. Of course, I still hold over 1 Bitcoin as well for the very long term. So we do have Coinbase users can receive US tax refunds in crypto as part of TurboTax deal. That's pretty awesome. The more stuff we get like this, the better for the crypto space. Of course, this isn't something that's going to pump the crypto markets, but it is cool to see more ways to get paid out in cryptocurrency and more adoption happening. All right, guys, so we have something that never happens. Some Litecoin news. Breaking after years of development, Litecoin's MWeb Mimblewimble extension block upgrade will be included as part of the Litecoin Core Update release candidate, which also includes the security and privacy enhancing Taproot upgrade. If you guys remember, we had the Taproot upgrade to Bitcoin. Now we have it on Litecoin. And the Mimblewimble extension brings privacy features to Litecoin, which is pretty massive. This now is the most accessible privacy-enabled cryptocurrency out there. If you consider Litecoin is actually in pretty much every Bitcoin ATM machine out there as well. Pretty much on every major exchange next to Bitcoin. It's one of the OG cryptocurrencies. The only thing is it's very similar to Bitcoin, where it doesn't have a lot of stuff happening on it, utility being built. But if you are invested in Bitcoin, I don't see why you wouldn't have some Litecoin as well. I personally hold a small amount of Litecoin next to Bitcoin, but I am more bullish on other developing blockchains like Cardano and Ethereum and other top cryptocurrencies and stuff like the Sandbox, Sand token. So this isn't something I'm going all in on, but I do think it will appreciate more than other investment avenues like real estate and the stock market and stuff. All right, guys, so jumping into some NFT news, we do have reports that Bored Ape Creator is in talks with a major VC, potential valuation of $5 billion for an NFT company that was created in April of 2021. It's not even a year old, and it has a $5 billion evaluation. Of course, this is a one of a kind occurrence in the NFT space, but this is great for the entire NFT space. It's bringing a ton of demand and volume to the space for other sets. Even though you can't afford a Bored Ape or one of their dog NFTs or other NFTs in their ecosystem, they are creating their own cryptocurrency, the Ape token, which will allow anyone to participate in the ecosystem now, which I think is great. I'm sure they will create some more sets eventually. It's inevitable. They launched 3 in their first year already. Now a cryptocurrency, some games. They have over $100 million of funding. Sounds like they are getting more funding from VCs very soon also. Very excited to see where this NFT project is headed. It's pretty much a name brand in the space. But everyone's looking for the next Bored Ape. I am as well. And I know a lot of projects out there will do great, but nothing's really going to compare to the Bored Ape in the next few months. But I'm always on the lookout for the next great project. There is some great projects that are coming out. So I'm actually going to do an entire separate video on NFTs. I do want to go over some new NFT projects, some ones that I'm looking in, and what's going on with the Journey Club NFT set as well. We're actually launching the Voyager NFT website tomorrow, as well as another big announcement that we will be dropping on our Twitter account. So I will do that NFT video over the weekend. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. But lots of other big stuff happening here as well. OpenSea massive volume, $5 billion in volume. And we have American Express looking to get into NFTs. Everyone's focused on NFTs right now. They're more popular than cryptocurrencies. Lots of fear in the crypto space, while NFTs are getting crazy returns in a short period of time. So keep in mind, even the NFT space comes in waves. There's major peaks, the volume drops off, things settle at a much lower floor price than the peak, and then as things continue, if it's a good project, it should continue growing over time as well. So that's it for this video. Just a quick update on the market, some important news, things going on, my thoughts on the current state of the markets and projects that I'm looking at. Hope you guys found it useful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.